Jack, good first day at the Pump Gala. Dominique Wilkins. I told you, I even said during the interview, you know me, I don't really fumble my words too often, but I think what he meant to the game, maybe the most, I wouldn't say disrespect, that's the wrong word. Underrated, what is the word I'm looking for?
Both.
Underappreciated.
Both. All the above.
Couldn't get anywhere with Parrish. Dominique fires outside, goes after it. Whoa!
10 years of averaging 25 plus a game, was in a nasty Eastern Conference, had to face Isaiah, had to face MJ, had to face Patrick Ewing, had to face Reggie Miller, Bird. But I think he's someone that people don't understand how talented he was. I think everyone thinks he was a dunker, but if you look at the way he scored the basketball.
He gave MJ the most work.
I think they said we found out, what was the stat yesterday? We found out him and MJ were the only two players that averaged 30 against each other.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And they had 60 battles and 40 battles and 50 battles, so.
And Dominique won a lot of those games.
And then also, you know, his upbringing, you know, the KKK burning crosses in his front yard.
Born in Paris.
Yep, born overseas, playing with his brother. The legendary dunk contest, man, that was one of my favorite. I mean, we had 3 great episodes, but that was probably my favorite episode of the day, because he was just such a great storyteller. If you think about you guys will see, but the first 10 minutes, man, he's talking about his battles with Jordan, he's talking about his battles with Bird, then he's talking about his battles with Magic Johnson. And to me, as a fan growing up in that time, man, it didn't get no better.
Right.
So make sure you guys check out this Dominique Wilkins episode. Welcome back, All the Smoke, LA. Jack, we started off with 2 good ones, and it continues to get better.
Hey, this is a legendary day, man. Super legendary.
Man, someone who we grew up watching. Very few times am I at a loss for words, but I'm really excited because I've always been just such a huge fan of who you are.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man.
And always thought that you never got the respect that you deserved in this game. We're going to talk about that, too. We're going to get down to that, too. But, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Dominique
Appreciate
Wilkins,
it, man.
Thank you.
Always good to see you guys. Jacksonville.
Somebody who gave me some game early in my career when I went to Atlanta after the championship. I was down and out. You said a lot of things to me that you were doing that time that gave me confidence and didn't kill my confidence when San Antonio didn't want to pay me. So I never told you thank you for what you meant to me. You really helped me coming out of that championship year to get my confidence back up. So I thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. It was a pleasure of mine, man. You know, we go back.
Yes, sir. Man. My God.
We got a little history.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
I want to start where.
But before you start, man, how come both of y'all sitting higher than me? Now, I know both of y'all ain't just that much taller than me. I'm sitting so low. I mean, I'm just saying.
We want you to be comfortable.
But it's good. It's good. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now we can finish. Yeah. Go ahead.
A conversation you and I actually started coming off the elevator, and we were talking obviously about the Olympic team winning gold, and we were talking about our thoughts and how the team was put together and how Tatum didn't play. But what was your take on this year's Olympics and, you know, the team winning gold?
I mean, even though they win's a win, but I thought the mix wasn't the best mix because you brought up Tatum. Didn't even play in one of the games. Yeah, they won. 2 games. He didn't play. You know, either hurt or just didn't fit
wasn't hurt.
the role that needed to be played on that team. So it was kind of strange for me. But at the end of the day, they won. But I know he wasn't happy.
Yeah, any role Derek White can play, I'm pretty sure Tatum can play. Point blank.
You know,
Derek White didn't carry that team to the championship. Tatum did, so just make it make sense. We got common sense. First team.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense to me either. But you know, the critics are all gonna say, "But hey, they won.
They won."
You know, and they're right. But when you make a team like that, I think everybody deserve a right to play.
Right.
You know, he didn't very much. So I think a lot of people are trying to figure out why he didn't play much,
especially coming off a championship.
Yeah.
And if you know basketball, I mean, the only person that was first team All NBA the last 3 years, only person on the team, and there's greats there. Don't get me wrong.
Greats there.
But Jason Tatum has definitely paid his dues, and I was disappointed overall because I've been a fan of Steve Kerr, and obviously coaching is tough when you got 12
playing
guys
on
that
a
can play.
U.S. team, everybody that's on that team, deserves to play.
No question.
You know, we didn't care about who played minutes. It wasn't about the minutes. It was just us coming together and everybody having the chance to say, hey, I was a part of the victory.
I contributed.
You know, even though you won, what is Tatum really saying to himself? You know,
I think he's
I
like,
whether
fuck,
I'm part of it
I'm on
or
some
wasn't.
shit. Next year, Jaylen Brown got, you know, he didn't make it. Tatum didn't really get to play. Like, they might have really woke up a monster.
And you know, and then a lot of people say, well, you know, why is it an issue? Well, you know, winning is everything, and we all know that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we worked hard to get to this
earn
point.
your respect.
You earn your respect
Yeah.
there. So, you know, I earned my right to play. But for whatever reason, that didn't happen.
I know Joe Mazzulla probably sitting at home. Yes, I'm glad y'all doing them like this.
Yeah.
They finna come back and destroy y'all.
Mazzulla was there.
That's the other part of it.
Mazzulla was there.
That's the other part. Hey,
Yeah.
you know,
He lit
I
that
can't wait
fire.
for the season to
Yeah,
start.
both of my boys mad.
Because as competitors, and I don't care what anybody said, that goes through your
Oh, there's
mind.
no question.
That goes through, man. You can paint it however you want,
He got Golden State
but that
circled
works
the
on your
calendar.
psyche.
We know Jason Tatum, and I know his pops, and I know Jason Tatum is sitting at home. I can't wait in the gym right now. This is dedicated to all y'all.
And Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown
That's
didn't
what I'm
even get
saying,
to go
both of
nowhere.
them.
Yeah.
Because,
so-
you know, I remember times where I felt disrespected, you know, in my career.
You dealt with it more than
I
anybody.
dealt
Let's just
with it
say
more
that.
And it just fueled me. And I said, whoever I'm going against this next game in trouble. They better put on their hard hat 'cause I'm coming. But that was just our mentality, you know. Because a lot of times, man, what you do, your action speaks louder than words.
Right.
You don't have to say anything. And I've seen it, and so I know how you feel. But you know, we can talk about something else for the moment, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
If you go down and dunk a ball and have the rim shaking for the next 3 possessions, you ain't got to say nothing.
Yeah,
That's what you used to
right.
do.
Yeah, you know
Go
what?
still shaking.
You know the thing that I enjoyed the most, and somebody asked me this question earlier today, said, you know, what is your favorite plays? I said, well, I can't really say what my favorite play was, but I can tell you what my favorite situation was, is when big men try to block my shot. Man, I tried to throw it so hard, I was trying to break their arm, to deter them from trying to
The
block
next
it again. You know, if you throw it on a big guy real hard the first time, he gonna be thinking about that next one.
Yeah.
And then you can lay it up, you know, make a pass, whatever you need to do to get the bucket, but it puts that fear in his mind. But then you have them guys who like to block shots, don't never learn.
They pain freaks.
Oh man, they love
Matumbo,
it.
they pain freaks.
They love it, but those are the best situations for me when I can create an advantage for myself or for the team.
This episode is presented by Coors Light. Choose chill.
Go to CoorsLight.com/smoke to get Coors Light delivered straight to your door.
Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Before you start this, in the memory of our great friend Pat McAfee, pass me a Coors Latte.
Coors Latte.
Thank you.
And before we really get started, I have a question. Was your curl wet or dry?
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie.
You know why he asked you that? You know why he asked you that? We asked Deion Sanders the same thing.
He say it looked wet, but it was dry.
You had the motherfucking Jheri curl drip like my pops had.
It looked wet, but it was dry. That thing looked wet, but it was dry.
That shit wasn't wet.
Hold on. How did pull off the wet look, but the dry, but it was dry?
Nexus, a product called Nexus.
His was wet. Okay. We was in Atlanta at the same time, but his was wet. Mine was just moist. It wasn't wet. You know, there's a difference. You know, it wasn't dripping. It wasn't dripping.
It wasn't dripping.
No, it wasn't dripping.
But that was your high top, flat top curl. That was the shit back then.
That was it. That was it. That was it.
It wasn't drip. It wasn't drip.
Oh, hey man, you ain't see like white spots on my
None of that.
around my hairline. No. You know, it was moist. it wasn't wet. You know, you see why? That's why I ain't got none now. You know, what I'm saying?
You still got some. A lot like my dad had that curl. He been bald for the last 20 years.
right.
All them chemicals.
Yeah. You know what? You know that was a style
That was
back
it.
then.
I
you
had
know.
one.
That was it.
You know a funny thing because we went from the real skinny suits to the baggy suits.
Yeah.
Now it's back skin. You know, a lot of these young guys today think they invented it. We were doing that
we've been
way
doing
back
Carrie.
then.
Remember Carrie's bottom walkers from Carrie?
Oh yeah. Oh, you know that story. It was a couple of stores around the country that different ones that everybody in the league went to.
Walters.
Yeah, you had a place in Detroit, you had a place in Philly.
Yeah.
Everybody went to the same
Same guy.
They had all the styles.
And you had the shoe guy in L.A. What's the shoe place in Atlanta?
Freeman's.
Freeman's. I mean, not Freeman's. Yeah, I was going to say Freeman's, not Walters.
Freeman's won't let go of them old shoes though. They still
still
selling the
shop at
old shoes. I go from. I haven't been in a while, but I go from
Peaky
time
Blinders.
to time.
That's where I got my shoes from. Yeah.
But
Freeman's.
let's get to it. Only the 8th player to average 25 points, 10 consecutive seasons, 9-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA. Retired when you retired, the 7th leading scorer at the time, over 26,000 points. But again, that's something we touched on. The credit and the respect, because you were going head-to-head with MJ a lot of times, but got the better of him a lot of times.
Yeah, he was a bad man. He was good. You know what? I found this out earlier. I would say about a couple years ago, and didn't realize that he and I were the only two folks in NBA history to average 30 against one another our whole career.
Oh.
For a whole career.
Really?
You had to, man. I had to get 30 against him because
Dylan had that on there too.
He was, man.
And you shot nearly 50% while by averaging 30.
And that's a lot of things people don't realize. The efficiency that a score with. I didn't take 30 shots and make 12, and especially in that era with the physicality and you getting hit and touched and you're still able to be that efficient.
Yeah,
and it was
says
tough.
a lot. Yeah,
but yeah, MJ was.
Do you have a battle that comes to mind when you? I mean, obviously you guys played a ton of times.
I've said this many times. People heard me say this. I think I scored 57 in Atlanta, and I didn't play the fourth quarter.
Damn.
And we went back to Chicago a little while later, and we in the locker room, suit and tie. MJ walks down the locker room, suit and tie. I'm saying, what this?
Came in your locker room.
Yeah. So somebody's coming out like, what are you coming in here for? I was like, he coming to the training room or something? Where he walks by me, he walks by Kevin, to get to Randy with me and taps him on the ass. He said, lace him up, it's going to be a long night. And turns to walk out. And I didn't know what to say. I'm shocked. I'm like, well, you tell that somebody Scottie Pippen, I'm going to kick his ass. I didn't know what to say, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm blown away. Man, he had 60 that night.
What'd you do?
We won the game.
Yeah.
We had 60 that night. I had a hell of a game, but he had 60, bro. And but it wasn't like it was a hard 60 either, the way he was scoring. He was like he was on the mid. I think he was like pissed off that I had 57, a few days before. And he went crazy, man.
But said it loud enough so you could hear it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so it really set up the games we played against each other through our career. Game I'll have 43, he'll have 41, or he'll have 46 and I have 40. I mean, it would go like that all the time. Our battles, He was a hard man to beat. That team was so good though. That team was made up of a bunch of great role players. And I think Scottie Pippen, I have a lot of respect for. I think he's one of the greatest role players to ever play this game.
Yeah.
He's probably the best
to
ever play this game. And so he was a great compliment to Jordan.
It's so hard for a lot of players, especially in Mike's era, to give him his props. Why is it so easy for you to give him his props?
If you ain't ever faced him, you don't understand. If you ain't ever faced Mike,
only a real one.
You can't make that comment.
Yeah.
Man, I played against some of the most hard-nosed, talented players that ever played this game. He was a phenomenon. And he had attitude to go with it. I mean, he was, when you played against Mike, his eyes were bloodshot red every game. Like he was possessed. I used to say to myself, "Oh, I got to go work tonight. Jesus is coming." And so he and I, we had so much respect. But I'm going to tell you when I knew how good he was. When we was in college, I was a junior, he was a freshman. We played in Carolina. And the first time James Worthy and I had a chance to play against one another since high school. Because in high school, we came out the same area, but never played against each other. So that Carolina game we played, we going back and forth. So the first play of the game, I went up and I caught, Worthy's finger roll. And I wanted to, set the tone. I threw it like 6-row in the stand. Let's go. We gonna go. We gonna go. And the game was back and forth. The whole game, close. Worthy was having a hell of a game. I was having a hell of a game. In the last 2 minutes of the game, a young kid named Michael Jordan took over by himself.
Freshman.
That's freshman.
He's a young kid named Michael
I was like, who is this kid right here, man? And so I knew this. He was going to be a great pro. I didn't know he going to be that good of a pro. But that kind of set the tone for me and my thoughts of what I saw. And like I said, if you haven't played against Mike, you have no clue. You have no clue how good he is.
You have to be there.
What about Larry?
That's another guy. Larry and I, we played against each other like 12, 13 years. We never shook hands, never spoke.
Really?
Never. I mean, as the great players back then, you didn't want another great player to get that close to you.
Yeah.
So none of us liked each other, never spoke. I didn't speak to him for 13 years straight.
I love Larry even more hearing that.
Hey, another guy.
'Cause he was
you
a dog.
don't have any idea how good he was if you hadn't played against him.
And the shit talking too, right?
Hey, listen, first time I played against him, I'm a rookie. I'm glad to be in the league. I'm in the Boston Garden, and I'm guarding him, right? First play of the game, he said, I don't know why you got you guarding me, Holmes. I was like, huh? He shoots a 3. And I wasn't mad he made the 3. I said, but this some bitch called me Holmes. And so the next play, I'm pissed. So he comes out, he shifts to his right, and I jump. I said, I got him. And I'm pumping it by my head, and I banged it on him, right? And he on the ground, he fouled me, and I'm pointing. And he said, hey, Rook. I'm like, what? He said, I like you. You got balls. He said, I'm still getting 30 on your ass tonight. He got about 37.
Yeah.
But I wasn't mad because I'm paying my dues. That's Larry.
Yeah.
But that was the only time he ever talked trash to me.
He respected you to
Because
back down.
he knew I was going to keep coming. He and I, again, never talked until we retired. And he had an interview and they was talking about trash talking. And he said, I never said things to offend anybody. He said, you take Dominique. And he said, I said some things to Nick and he would just smile at me. But he understood what that smile was about.
Yeah.
He said he just came to play. He said, I have more respect for him than any player I ever played against. I never knew he felt that way.
Wow.
And that was a major, major respect. That was one of the few times he's ever said anything to me. Now, today, we're friends.
Yeah.
Because we're not competitors anymore.
No more, yeah.
And so I've always, when you talk about Larry, I give him the utmost respect because of who he was to play. Again, and I'm talking about guys that if you haven't played against him,
You got no idea.
you have no idea because they take your heart.
6'9".
You think you tough, they take your heart. He's 6'10".
6'10". With
Playing
a skill
small
set.
forward.
What's
With
his
a
skill?
skill-
Talk to us about his skill set.
His skill
though.
set, first of all, he had a basketball IQ off the chart.
Yeah.
His skill set, he had very few weaknesses, and he can beat you in anyway, be either passing, scoring, rebounding. He just knew how to play. Very smart player. And it's not a lot of guys that have that type of basketball IQ along with skill that beat you like that. And so when I played against him, I had to bring my A game every night. And when we played in one of the greatest games, in the 7th game in Boston Garden, where he guaranteed a win because we blew our opportunity in Atlanta to beat them, to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And so the article came out, right? And this is another crazy thing, man. So he said, Atlanta blew their opportunity. I'm guaranteeing a win next game. So we come out of the locker room in Boston. So I stopped in the hallway. I said, look, we're going to win this goddamn game. I said, if you ain't ready to fight, you ain't ready to go to war, don't come out here. I said, whoever guard me, I ain't going to have a long fucking night. Unfortunately, he was telling his teammates the same thing down the other. And the game was pretty close. And I went out for a blow in the 3rd quarter. Larry only had 12 points in the 3rd quarter. And I remember Kevin Willis reaching across me and pointing at Larry, but he said, don't let this son bitch score anymore tonight. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't awake a sleeping giant. Well, he ended up with 34 that night. He had 20 in the 4th quarter. We had that famous shootout between us, he and I, that 4th quarter. And I tell you today, I'm mad at Kevin. I said, Kevin, man, why you just didn't sit? Don't say it. Leave him alone. But it was guys like that, and he's one of the guys of many in the league in that era took things personal. If you said something that wasn't, they didn't say nothing to you, but they showed it to you on the court. Well, I love playing with guys like that and against guys like that because the only way you can measure your greatness, you got to play against the greatest.
What up, fam? Football season is kicking off, and it's the perfect time to use DraftKings. the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. New customers, check out this offer. Bet just $5 and instantly get $250 in bonus bets. Plus, you get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. And that's something we can all celebrate. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code SMOKE. With those $250 in bonus bets, you can bet anytime touchdowns with DraftKings and so much more. So go and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use promo code SMOKE. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SMOKE only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Before we get back to this episode with Dominique Wilkins, here's a quick word from our sponsors at Coors Light. Even though the summer is over, there's still plenty of time to chill. And I choose chill by enjoying an ice-cold Coors Light and playing my favorite playlist. Good music and Coors Light go hand in hand. They just complement each other perfectly. So whether I'm at a barbecue, with friends, or just chilling at the crib, there's no better beer than Coors Light. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. Coors Light is the only choice when I'm ready to choose chill. It's straight from Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado. And when the mountains turn blue, I know the chill session has really begun. So amplify your chill with Coors Light. Choose chill, choose Coors Light. Make sure you celebrate responsibly. Go to CoorsLight.com/summermusic to see how Coors Light can amplify your summer. Also, keep your eye out on Coors Light social handles for more exciting announcements.
Now, what about, I mean, obviously you didn't get to play them much because in the Western Conference, but Magic.
I played against him a lot. And when you talk about point guards, greatest point guards ever, okay, what is your real definition of that? That
Magic Johnson, my definition.
To me, he's the greatest point guard ever because of what he did and first of all, in the conference, in that Western Conference, and they had some monsters out there, and they dominated them. And Magic Johnson brought a different level of basketball to L.A.
Yeah,
that they had never seen. It was that Showtime Lakers. That's all Magic. I mean, Magic, man. Magic. I'm gonna tell you what, Magic's funny. He's very strategic. I can say this because I'm an old man now, I'm married, and all that good stuff. So tell you what he did my rookie year. So we check in the hotel, and I've been in my room about 30 seconds. Man, I had my bag, so didn't need anybody to bring my bag. So when I hear a knock at the door, and I look at the peephole, it's a tall lady with brown hair, green eye. I'm like, who the hell is this at our door, right? So open the door, right? And she said, compliments from Maravich Magic Johnson. Scared the hell out of me. I said, no.
You didn't let her in?
No, sir.
Oh, you should have sent her to Jack's room.
I like, cause I know the rookie. I'm scared. But I knew what he was doing.
Right. Compliments to Irvin Johnson.
Yeah. Green eyes, too.
Oh, man.
I don't know
Magic was, man, he was funny. But, Magic kind of helped discover me when I came out of college. Even though I was the third overall pick, I traveled with them in the summer before I even played a single game. So I played with all the best players in the summer. Magic, Moses, Bird, Dr. J.
Where would you guys do that at?
We would travel all over the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were like
Summer League pickup.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when I came in the league, I was like, man, this is easy. I already don't play with the best players, And then later, we got Jordan who came in. He would play with us. And, it was just so many guys. Karl Malone, Stockton, everybody was playing, And I ain't talking about just run up and down. I'm talking about going at it.
Hooping, yeah.
We were hooping. But that's what made the game fun, man. So, hey, I was really, privileged to play against guys like that.
You on record saying that the 80s was the 80s Eastern Conference was the best conference ever. 80s Eastern Conference against the 2000 West Conference. How that's gonna look?
The 80s Eastern Conference
against the 2000 Western Conference.
Well, that's a tough one, boy.
That West had the big boys.
Oh boy, they had some
Tim
big
Duncan,
boys.
Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, Shaq.
They had some big boys.
KG, Dirk the Whiskey.
They had some big boys.
Kobe. They had
that would be a great matchup. That would be a great matchup.
Yeah, I think y'all had more guards. They had more bigs.
We had a lot of guards, but we had some forwards though, boy.
Yeah.
We had some forwards.
Y'all ain't had Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, none of that.
We ain't care. We ain't care about none of that.
I know.
We ain't care about none of that. We ain't care about none of that. But anyway, you know, you talking about Dr. J and myself, Bird. You know,
Dr. J always
Bernard King.
too.
Man, let me tell you something.
Bernard
Nobody
King,
ever talked
Bucky.
about this guy.
Nobody
ever talked
to
about.
us.
I never feared anybody I've ever played against. That's the only man that ever scared the hell out of me.
Bernard King.
Tell us why, though. Tell us why.
Know why? Because he's getting 40. Ain't shit you can do about it.
And he can score every
Ain't
week.
nothing you can do about it. He was the only guy I couldn't sleep the night before I had to play against him. Because he's getting 40.
They say he can score anywhere on the court, too.
And so Coach, you said, when you guard Bernard, meet him at half court. I'm like, I'm not meeting him at half court. But I found very quickly what he meant.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't meet him at half court, you were like this. He was gone.
Yeah.
I remember when I played against him, it was one game, and like I said, I just couldn't sleep. So I said to him, I know he's going to get 40. I said, so I'm going to get 40, and we just call it a walk, because I ain't killed myself trying to chase this guy. Because you can't stop him. So when we went in the Hall of Fame, when he went in the Hall of Fame, he asked me would I introduce him. I like, me? You never spoke to me. We had no type of friendship. But I was privileged. I was honored because that's BK.
Yeah.
Man, I said, before we go up the steps, man, and be honest, I said, man, I ain't never feared anybody. I said, you the only guy ever scared the shit out of me. And he's laughing. I said, man, why you laughing? He said, because you scared the shit out of me too. I was like, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, my chest got big after he said that, right? But it just shows you that none of those guys let you get that close to him when we was competitors, man. And that's what made the game more fun, and it made you compete even harder because you never knew what was going on in his head. You knew he was going to come at you, and you had to guard that guy too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to guard a power forward because they had a license to kick your ass. I'm not playing his position. So, you know, we had enough problem at that small forward position, and we had a lot of them. And another guy, you talk about Mark Aguirre.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Big draws, man.
Big draws.
He was, let me tell you, man, he was a load to deal with. You know, to me, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
To me.
Take us back. You sitting in the room, table 5, guys from the 80s, your era, talking about the evolution of the game. How would that go?
Yeah, you know what? We give all eras their respect because we had to learn from somebody, right? So we learned from the guys before us. Yep. And so we always appreciate basketball and every level. We talk about it, but the one thing we will say is that it's their time. We've had our time. But I hate when they try to shit on us to prove their point.
Right. You can't
they don't have to do that, you know, because, you know, great is great. Don't care what area you're in. But, you know, don't use past area to elevate yourself. Because we never did that to guys like, look, I'm never going to say I'm better than Wilt Chamberlain or Russell. Or I was just with Oscar Robertson earlier.
We had him right, we were just sitting right there.
And you know, we appreciated you guys, you know, because we learned from y'all, you know. And so
that's how we feel about y'all.
Yeah, because we're like, anytime I get a chance to talk to guys before me, man, I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's a pleasure for me. And I've never thought that I was bigger than the game. Because nobody's bigger than the game.
Right.
Because it's always one coming behind you. You know, so no one person is going to be bigger. You can be an iconic figure of the game, in which we have a lot of guys who fits that bill, but you know, the game gonna keep evolving with or without you.
What up, players? Summer's on its way out. Don't let those high summer vibes hit the bench. Change the game and elevate your everyday with Via. Via gives you freedom to blaze your own trail. Good fully legal hemp and cannabis products shipped right to your door in all 50 states. The new training schedule hitting you hard? Try Via's Relief Line, which is designed for your relaxation and restoration. Say goodbye to those aches and pains from years on the court. Via is the brand that everyone is raving about and is trusted by professional athletes like myself. Via's organic flower is carefully grown and tested to ensure the highest quality. It's free from harsh pesticides and nasty chemicals. I really like the sleep gummies. They have THC, CBD, and CBN. They help me get a good night's sleep, and I always wake up feeling rested and refreshed. Via also has THCA flower, soothing topicals, calming drops, and so much more. So if you're 21, check out our link in our description for 15% off. But make sure you use code SMOKE. And if my opinion isn't enough, Via Hemp has over 500,000 customers served. The products range from 0 to 100 milligrams of THC. So there's something for everyone. Unlock the power of nature this fall with Via. Again, and if you're 21, make sure you check out Via. What up, fam? This your boy Stak 5. And I got a tip for you. You don't want to be that guy with BO, but sometimes we go too hard in the gym and forget to put on deodorant in the morning. And there's probably some people that's listening that's still using that gross 3-in-1 shampoo. But fear not. 5 has a solution for you. From the founders of Lumi is Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Mando is helping men conquer their odor in a whole new way. Mando is formulated with mandelic acid, and it has long-lasting 72-hour odor control that stops odor before it hits. And the best part, you can put Mando everywhere. Pits, packages, feet, skin, folds, back, knees. I mean, everywhere. For me, I really love the bourbon leather scent, and I like that it's aluminum-free. It also allows me to stay fresh with natural ingredients. Mando's cologne quality scents were created with men in mind. Trust me, go grab some of that bourbon leather. It's a game changer. Once you experience fresher underarms, a fresher package, and fresher feet, you'll never go back. Here's what I'm going to do for you now. All new customers can get $5 off a starter pack with code SMOKE. Peep the link in the description or go to shopmando.com and use code SMOKE. The starter pack comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. Me, I went with the deodorant wipes and the mini body wash. You also get free shipping. So go now and use code SMOKE at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com and use code SMOKE. It's time to kick that BO to the curb. Your partner would thank you.
Do you feel that your era gets enough credit for what's the players and how they make money today? It was $1 million salary when you were 1990, now it's $12 million.
And hey, look, God bless them. Get all you can get, you know. Because you have kids to come. I have a son to come in. I want him to experience that. But if I tell you what I made as the 3rd overall pick, you'll laugh, you know. But that's just the way it was.
What'd you make?
Money. I made $325,000. Yeah, top pick.
Yeah. That's crazy,
right? You know. But Patrick Ewing came, and I think a year or 2 later. I think it was 2 years later, and he got that $30 million contract, which was unheard of. And I told the team, I said, y'all call me when you're serious. I ain't coming back for 325. Y'all call me. So they said, look, we got a new deal for you. I said, cool, okay. You know, what's happening? They said, we gave John Concack $13 million. We're going to give you 14. I'm like, I'm averaging 30. He averaging 4. You crazy? I'm like, I'm not. I said, I take it. Because they take them deals off the table back then, you know.
Come on. You guys didn't have the player power.
But you know what, though? I love that part of the evolution of the game, how guys get what they deserve. And, you know, quite frankly, it's an even playing, I mean, not quite an even playing field, but you get a chance to, you know, prosper from, you know, the league and owners and what they're able to pay. So, yeah, I'm for the guy. Get all, whatever you want, get what you can get.
I want to ask you this Hawks question. How you feel about your boy Murray?
I love the DeJounte Murray. You know, he was good for us, you know, but, you know, sometimes things just don't work, you know, and I thought we had really the most dynamic backcourt in the league. But sometimes it don't work that way, you know. And so, you know, Trey is a guy, the big personality on our team, and he's a guy that's your leader. And that's your leader, and that's the guy that is going to hopefully get you to that next level.
Not having a great showing in Summer League, a lot of people are not high on your draft pick.
He's young, man. I mean, what is this kid, 19?
Yeah.
He's skilled.
Yeah.
He's skilled, but, you know, you got to be able to give him time. Yes, you know, give him time. He's going to be just fine. Believe me.
Yeah.
He's going to be just fine.
I have a question. Obviously, you coming in the league, being the 3rd pick, playing, and then being in the office, talking about the game. I feel like everything now, they're always going to base things on potential, but I feel like now more than ever, the draft is hopefully they will do this instead of guys really coming in and making an impact.
It's a gamble. It's a big gamble because as players, we know if a guy can play or not.
Right.
Because no matter what type of personality you bring to help grow your team, it's hard for them to know more than what we know because we've done this our whole lives. And so I can tell you right up front after watching a guy a couple games if he's ready to help you or he's not the right move. And we've seen that time and time again. But I think, the teams that win early are the teams that get guys that contribute now instead of later.
A lot of people don't know this. Everybody think you're old country bumpkin, but you was born in Paris.
Yeah.
Your mother was a superwoman. One of 8 kids. How was that?
It was great, man. My sister and I, we were the first two. And so both of us was born in Sorbonne, France. And I lived in France 5 years before we moved to the United States. My sister actually spoke fluent French.
You?
I spoke it too. But you know what? If you don't speak it, you lose it. So
right.
I even took 5 years of French too. But if I'm around it, I understand it. It was really great from two parts. One, to see the French team, get to the gold medal round. And the other part, the U.S., you're always pulling for us to pull it out. So it was a love type of event for me watching it. So, but yeah, I go back to Paris quite a bit.
Would you have played if they would actually play with France, being that you was born there?
Back when we was doing
A lot of pride. A lot of pride.
If I Wemby, I'd have really thought about it. I'd really thought about it. Being a part of Dream Team, man. I mean, that was great.
Yeah,
that was great, man. That was special. So
you
would never could duplicate that or take anything over that.
Talk to us about that time, though, because that was kind of the shift in the game. You guys took the world by storm, and the world took notes. And
well,
they started getting better.
We wanted to send a message to the rest of the world that y'all had no shot.
No shot.
No shot. And no one came within 25 or 30 of us. We blew everybody out. And, we had Sean Kemp and Derek Coleman. Them was two rebels on our team. And they were, man, they was relentless, I mean, guys would try to shake their hand. They're like, man, we beat you like that? You want to shake my hand? I'm like, man.
Talking shit still.
Come on. I said, come on, guys. But, we had guys with personality, but we had some ballers on that team. You had Shaq, you had Alonzo Mourning, you had, Isaiah Thomas, who really didn't play because he was hurt. And then you had, Reggie Miller, Mark Price, Larry Johnson, We had some players. Steve Smith was also on that team.
Yep, Smitty.
So
obviously we saw the greatness on the court, but what were practices like? What were bus rides, hanging in the hotels? What was that like?
We had Don Nelson as a coach.
Nelly.
We had Nelly as a coach too. So it was a free for all, is what you're saying.
Hell out of you, man.
He killed you, did he?
Oh man. I'm like, man, look, I'm one of the older guys on this team, man. I don't want to work that hard, but we were so ready to play after our practices, man. You used to see Alonzo Mourning and Shaq going head to head. I mean, it was like they didn't like each other. And they might didn't at that time, but our practices was worse than the game. Because practices, and I always believe this, practice should always be harder than a game. The game should be easy after
the reward.
Practice. That's the reward, but of course it's changed now. It's not like that.
Sean Kim told us a story how Nelly made him celebrate after dunk by grabbing his crotch. You remember that?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of people remember that one. But Don was a player's coach.
Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Don's a player. He'll run you to death, but you know what? He'll turn around and say, "Hey, let's go have dinner." Somewhere. Yeah. Nothing was ever personal.
That's my guy, man.
But he gonna work you. He gonna work you.
I'm glad we caught the back end of Nelly.
Yeah, we got the cool Nelly.
Yeah, we got the cool Nelly.
Not the sober Nelly.
No, Nelly, we got
the
the crazy Nelly. We got the crazy.
We had the Nelly that would come to practice either with Crown or coffee in his cup. You just didn't know what one.
And a little dog, and let his dog shit in the middle of the court during practice.
Well, I tell you, we had quite a few coaches. Like, cause I most of my career I played for Mike Fratello.
Mikey.
And Mike was a little general.
Yeah.
And Mike was, man, I'm gonna tell you, he would, if the players are in situations, he's in the middle of it. He gonna go down with his players, And he's the one guy, you gonna do it his way or you ain't gonna do it at all. Because I was a guy at times, I didn't think he liked me, man. Because my name was either son of a bitch or motherfucker. But I remember one time I had 23 at half and I had like 7 rebounds. We were down 9 to Chicago. So coming to lock on, he says, "Nick, you think you're better than everybody else? You got a hair across your ass, can't nobody talk to you." He said, "Let me tell you something, son. You ain't did shit." I was like, "Huh? What?" I said, "You see what I did at halftime?" I said, "We down 8 or 9 points. We still got a chance." He said, "That don't mean shit to me. You ain't done nothing." And so I said, you know what, Mike, F you. He said, no, fuck you. I said, no. It went on for like 2 minutes. Everybody crying, laughing, right? You know, and finally everybody walked out of the locker room. And he grabbed me. I was the last one to leave. He said, okay, cut the shit. If I can talk to you like that and at times belittle you, can't nobody else say it.
Talk to anybody that way.
Pop said that too.
And I'm like, wow, okay. I said, okay. All right, I got it. I get it.
Yep.
And from that point on, we never had another argument.
Great.
He would say some stuff to me like a lot of guys couldn't take, but I knew where he was going.
Yeah, the reason.
You know? Yeah. And so, you know, good coaches, man, they find ways to motivate you through other means and through your best player a lot of times. So yeah, I learned a lot from that.
Dominating in high school, 79-1 in North Carolina. How was that?
Man, that was outstanding. I mean, you know,
79-1.
When I went there, before I went there, you know, they will always get to the state championship or get close to the state, but they never won. And so when I got there when I was 16, and I got discovered on the playground that next day. The guy who
you got discovered on the blacktop.
Man, this is crazy because
I
saw my best friend rob somebody in Baltimore, and I told my mom, I said, I'm leaving the city. I'm never coming back. And I left weeks later, and my brother came and said, where's Nick? They said, well, Nick gone. And so I left and went to North Carolina on a Greyhound bus.
You have family out there?
I had family, but I didn't know where I was going to live, really, because all my grandparents, aunts, uncles lived in Carolina. And so I get off the bus, I see these kids playing. I go over and I start playing basketball with them. And after I finish, I'm sitting on the ground. This older gentleman came and said, hey, son, you live here? I was like, I'm not sure yet. He said, well, where you going? You live here? I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. And he looked and he said, come go with me. And I don't know why I went with him, but I went to his house. He showed me a bedroom, showed me a kitchen. He said, you can have all this. The only trade-off is you have to play for my high school team. He was a high school coach.
Wow.
All those players I was playing with his players on that high school team.
Get the fuck out of here. So fresh off the bus.
Fresh off the bus.
No plan.
I had no plan at all. And
That's
he said,
God.
I said, okay. I lived with him my first year. And then after that, I lived with my grandparents. But we won. We had an undefeated season my first year. We went to the semifinal states and we lost by, I think, 2. A team we beat by 30 the regular season. And he said, if we stick together the next 2 years, we won't lose another game. And we ran off 56 in a row in 2 years, back-to-back state titles in North Carolina, which is hard to do.
Good basketball out there.
You know, I played against Mitchell Wiggins and Buck Williams, all those guys in high school. But that's where it started for me. My high school coach, man, taught me that, you know, there's nothing you can't accomplish if you believe.
Oh, this is the coach you was talking about before we got to teach you. If I could teach you how to be a man before. Okay.
Yeah, he was, you know, you see these plyometric things that they do in the day's game, right? So he used to have a bench about this wide, this high. And we used to have to jump across this bench without stopping 50 times. And if you hesitate, you got to do it all over again. He would do that to help with your timing and explosion. I'm telling you, you don't realize how much that helped us without timing, you know, and balance. He's the greatest coach I ever had.
Wow.
And I don't care what level. He's the greatest coach I ever had. So
you decommitted from NC State to go to Georgia.
you know that story?
Yeah, you had to deal with some racist people burning crosses in your yard and all that.
It's a long story, but I give you the short story.
Yeah, give me the short end.
Well, first of all, if you're a great player in the state of North Carolina in those days, you don't leave the ACC. It was like against the law to leave the ACC.
Yeah.
And so I signed 11-10 with North Carolina State. And, you know, it was pretty much decided that's where I'm going. I'm going there with Wittenberg and Lowe and all those guys, Thurl Bailey, and all of us.
Squad.
Man, we had a squad. Then the University of Georgia came out of nowhere. And, you know, today, you know, you had the NIL.
They gave you a little bit of bag,
legal, right?
They gave you a little bag, huh?
Gave me a little bag. But anyway.
Little old bag, huh?
But that was part of it. But the thing is that I didn't want to be compared to anyone. You know, by going to University of Georgia, there was no one to compare to. So 5 other high school All-Americans, we all decided to go there together. So when I made that decision, all hell broke loose. I got all F's on my transcript, paint poured on my mom's car, and I had a cross burning in my yard. And I got arrested the next day. I'm coming out of a store, I think it was Sears or something like that. And I had this back there, 8-track tapes back then. You know? It had CDs, you know. So I'm coming out of the store and I just paid for it, right? And I had $3,000 in my pocket. The gentleman said, "We got to arrest you. We saw you steal that tape." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Why would I steal a $3 tape? I got $3,000 in my pocket. You kidding me?" He said, "We got to arrest you." So they called the police. Police came. It was my cousin who was on the police force. And he said, "We know what's going on. So we're going to go down to the police station. We'll work it out." Then he said, "You know what? I'm going to take you home. We're going to pack up the house. And we're getting you, the whole family, out tonight." So we left at 12 o'clock at night. The whole family moved out. And I didn't go back for 30 years until the statue got unveiled. My coach passed. That's on. I've stayed away that long. I never went back. You know, and it's still to this day, it bothers me because, you know, that town was unknown before I got there. And, but it's still a part of my history. So every now and then I'll make a trip back there. But that was tough, man. The racism was real. Because we had a white prom and black prom when I was in high school.
A white prom
and we had our prom at the recreation center. They had theirs at the high school. I never went. Man, I'm not going to that shit. Yeah. You know. And if we can't be together, the only thing that leveled the racism in North Carolina was sports. One of my teammates was a white guy named Bobby Mouth. He and I are very close friends to this day. And that's the one thing he said, this is the only thing that leveled the racism in our town is basketball and sports. You know, because our fans would follow us all over the state when we played. The town would be empty. But when it came to social issues, it was different.
Problem.
Yeah, it was a problem.
And then when you decided to leave, it was really different.
Yeah. Oh, when I left, went to Georgia, they said, well, you know, we thought we would have him for another 4 years. I'm like, what do you mean have me? You don't own me. Yeah. You know, but that's the way they thought, you know. But to 30 years to go back, man, that's crazy. The only reason I went back because my coach passed, and I said, you know what? If the mayor of that town can drive all the way to Atlanta and view my film, I can go back. And that's the reason why I went back.
How proud are you being a Georgia alumni, Anthony Edwards?
Oh yeah, that's my guy. You know, that's my guy. I was like a mentor to him, you know, when he was coming up, and it's great to see the level of success he's achieved so far.
See, people don't know that you and Steve Smith were instrumental in raising him, having a lot to do with him. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that
because you know he was a kid that
he lost his family early.
Yeah, he lost his family, so he moved around to different places, but. And I understand, you know, how he felt and what he went through, because I went through that. Yeah. And so to see how he, you know, persevered through all those, you know, disappointments and became what he is now.
Yeah, man.
It's a testament to his will and his determination to be successful and show him that, hey, I can do this.
Because he had every reason stacked up against him not to make it and to give up.
Yeah.
Everything.
It makes sense why he's so...
outspoken,
funny, and
full of life.
Because he's probably did a lot of crying, and that's how I used to
you
do
know,
it too. I used to make people laugh because I would cry all the time, and when I get a chance to be funny or be outgoing, that was me kind of hiding pain back in the day.
So you know, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know, with him, you know, growing up in them tough areas, and then, you know, he don't fear nobody
at all
in this league. You know, he's a guy he going to step up and be ready for the challenge, and that's what I admire about him, man. He just come out, he just plays the game, and he's been doing that since high school.
You feel like he could be the face of the league?
I think he will be at some point. I think he will be if he keeps maturing and going like he's going. Absolutely, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, me too.
1982, third pick goes to Utah. Initially, what were you thinking?
I wasn't going.
Oh, hell no.
No. I'm not going to Utah. Y'all crazy.
Going?
Utah. And then they told me I'd be playing power forward. I like, y'all talking about at 210, 215? Not me. I said, y'all better trade me today. So, you know, we get a call that I've been traded to Atlanta, which I wanted to go to Atlanta. They were Freeman Williams, $1 million, and John Drew. And back then, that's a ton.
But it was rumored to be the worst trade in the history of the game.
It is, because you know what? At that time, you know, they were struggling, Utah, to make payroll, you know. So the money they trade for really kind of helped for a short period of time until they got new ownership and investments with that team, because, they were struggling financially. And so, you know, people tell me all the time, man, you really helped save the franchise because they were going to have to move. Well, I said, well, I'm happy for them, but I'm glad I didn't
have to go there. Yeah.
You know.
Any truth that Hank Aaron was instrumental in getting you over there?
It was Hank Aaron, and a guy named Mike Guerin Sr. He's like a father to me. You know, he was part of the Atlanta Hawks at that time. And so they told Ted Turner, it was Hank Aaron said, you need to get this kid by any means necessary. I've been following him ever since he came to Georgia.
Wow.
He said, if you can trade to get him, trade everybody you can to get him on your team. And so they did. They traded 2 proven players, John Drew, who was a star. And $1 million, man, I died and went to heaven. Like, man. So, yeah, that was a great opportunity for me.
Back then.
Dunking, although it's not the only part of your game, it was something that you were known for. Where did that athleticism come from, and just the want to just dunk that motherfucker so hard?
Track and field.
You know what, man? It's been that way since I was a kid. My first dunk was 12 years old. And
What?
yeah,
That's like 6th grade.
How tall were you?
about 5'8", 5'9".
12?
Bouncy.
See, I was in this thing called BNBL. It was a basketball league. You know, it wasn't, you know, it was just really playground basketball. And I came down on fast break, and the guy was trailing me. I just went up and I dunked it. And I'm running, everybody celebrating, and I go down the other end. The referee came, where you going? I said, what's wrong? He said, you got fouled. So you got to come down and shoot the free throw, you know. And all the old heads around me said, young man, young fella, anyway, they said young something else, you know, young motherfucker, you know, you're going to be all right. You're going to be the first one to get out of our neighborhood.
Wow.
So it's hands off. Nobody messes with him, because back then you had to be in a game.
That's how it
You
used
go
to
from
be,
100
man.
blocks
That's how it used to
to the
be.
next, because I played basketball, it was hands off.
Yep.
And so they used to make me play against older guys for money. So I had to play that much harder. And so as I started to grow, like I said, when I get a chance, if I ever get anybody backpedaling that lane, I'm going to let them have it. And so I only knew how to play the game at one speed, and that's all out. And so I used dunking for a tool for intimidation. And it wasn't really who I was, but it was to give me an advantage, give me an edge over the guy I was playing. Because I figured if I can get 2 fouls on you early, right? I got all the advantage in the world now, because you ain't going to play me as hard.
I got to go
You
sit
got to
down
go
too.
sit down.
Can't play as physical.
Yeah, you can't play physical. So I was always thinking the game in that sense. How can I create an advantage? And dunking was one of them tools, man, that I used, and I just took it to a different level.
There any
Mastered
dunk?
it.
I mean, obviously, a career full of highlights. Are there any dunks that kind of stand out to your mind? You said you love dunking on big dudes.
That's, you know, yeah. I think one of my favorite dunks was against Bob Lanier at the end of a game. I remember I'm on the right side, and I come to the middle, and Kevin Greavy cuts me off. And I go back baseline.
This it
I
right here?
jump. That's it. That's the one.
Hey!
Was that a double pump reverse
Yeah,
on a
so
7-footer?
To the side.
So you see a ball fake.
Hold on. Post game, though. How many guards had post game back then?
Step through.
Hey, let me tell you, he didn't speak to me for 9 years. I swear to God. I said, why you not? I mean, what's up with that? He said, it's just recently my daughter said I need to get by that.
I think it over that shit.
He said, this little skinny kid dunk on you like that, you should be embarrassed, Pops.
God damn. When you kind of see highlights of yourself, obviously you can put yourself back. What do you think?
One of the things is you could never put a little guard like that
Too strong
on me. Because if you switch, I'm going right to the post. I'm not going to be out in the wing. You're not going to switch. You think that you're going to hide? No, ain't no hiding. Because we're going to make you pay for switching. And I didn't know that was going to happen, because I thought maybe I closed my eyes when I went by baseline, because when he went up, he was at the rim like this.
You went.
And I kept going up. He was coming down. And he looked at me all the way down the court. And my teammate said, don't go back to the basket. Because he going to fuck you up. You know?
Tree wasn't letting that happen.
No, Tree, you talking about tough guys? Let me just explain something about Tree Rollins.
Tree ain't letting that happen.
There's only so much you can say to Tree before he slaps you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Tree.
Hey, man, I'm not
Tree
playing,
wasn't
man.
going.
And I've seen him slap many guys. Bill Cartwright, guards. I mean, he slaps some guys. I said, Tree, man, why you slap people like that? He said, it takes that manhood when I slap him.
Right.
That's probably
And
where
he
Oak
gonna,
get it from.
hey, that's who Oak get, man. Oak the same way.
I know, that's my dog.
I mean,
that's my big brother.
That's one of the reasons why you don't want to play power forward or things
Let's
like
get
that.
it right there. That's him and Zeke.
No, Vinny Johnson.
Oh no, yeah, Vinny. Oh, Vinny,
Look how far away
you
he's
can't get in there.
making
Vinny, you can't
contact,
get in there.
though.
Oh yeah.
That's that 8-foot wingspan.
You can't get in there.
You're not getting in there. And see, he has
You got to take one to get in there.
And he had no problem hitting people.
Look how far away he's swinging, though. Like, you can't even get close.
Yeah, you got to take one.
Back then, it wasn't no just woofing.
And y'all didn't get kicked
There
out.
wasn't no woofing.
There wasn't no crazy fine.
Nah, man. I remember Oak when he first came in the league. In a jump circle, he said, "I'm gonna hit your ass. I'm gonna hit your ass." You know,
He scored and just jabbed somebody running back. Look, hey,
that's Danny. Oh, that
nobody like that.
Let me tell you
Hey,
something.
bro.
That came in an all-out brawl because he dunked it, and Danny ain't know why he hit him with his elbow, because Danny Ainge kept jabbing him in the ribs every time he go by a pick. So that was a perfect opportunity for Tree to get him back.
They got you in your bag too.
Me and Bird got into a
They got you in your
me
bag.
and Bird got into a situation, and my trainer, I couldn't get loose.
I hate that.
I couldn't get like this little
The strength and conditioning motherfucker, right?
I couldn't get loose. See, he did it on purpose too. Watch.
Damn.
Elbow to the face,
Take
bro.
that with you, right, Danny?
He almost
his
took.
face
He
up.
almost broke his neck.
That's what
man.
I say. Took his face
Danny
off.
Andrews a competitor too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't back down.
One guy, he's another guy that gave me so much respect, man.
Danny.
After I retired, yeah, because he was a pest, man. We got in so many fights in Boston, man. It was a normal thing. But you know what? It was expected.
Right.
It wasn't personal.
Nah,
It was
business.
just business. We just trying to
Always
set the tone.
business.
In between Boston and Detroit and New York teams, we had issues
at it.
with. Because if you hit us, we hitting you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was just our attitude. We had a policy on our team. Anybody gets into it,
Everybody
bench
gets
clears.
into it.
If the bench don't clear,
We whipping
you
your
fine,
ass.
you fine,
Yeah,
you fine.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
So you
whipping
would
your
get
ass.
fined if you didn't come. Now you get fined for coming on. You would get fined
And
if you
if I'm in
didn't
the day
come
where
on.
I'm doing just like this, I catch y'all after the game.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up 25.
Yeah, that was
grand.
different.
No.
That was
But
different.
then, your fines were like $150, $200 fines.
Shit.
And we used to
You could have.
we used to
fun
put
with
it
that.
I wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah, right.
hey,
I noticed the ones I
we
got.
put it in a pot, and we have shooting.
Shoot for it.
Yeah, we shoot for it.
That's how minimal. That's because it wasn't that much.
Man, flagrant foul.
We had to donate ours to
We didn't
charities.
really know what a flagrant foul was.
Yeah, everything looked flagrant back then.
Man, I remember one
It
time,
was.
playing against Detroit, and Mahorn, he gonna lie about it if you talk to me. I'm coming down, and I get hit by here
me and him
by
beefing.
Mahorn, right? I get hit in the small of my back by Lambert, and I went like that, bam, and hit the ground. And I wasn't hurt, but I just looked up. I said, they didn't just snatch me out of the air.
They tried to really
I just jumped out, I just start swinging. And then I came to my senses. I said, damn, I got to fight these two big zombies now. Then on this side, Kevin Willard comes up, and on this side, Tree Rollins.
You
Then
good.
I got more brave
Yeah,
as
you
they got
good.
closer, right?
He was straight.
And and nobody
That was dirty
dealt
right
with them
there
two.
too. He didn't even try to block a shot. Yeah, me and Mahorn beefing right now.
Wow, what happened?
Me
Yeah,
and
he
Mahorn-
just fine. He just cheap shot it, I broke my hand on his head though.
Punching
I
him?
punched him in the back of his head and broke my finger. I said, boy, you got a big old head, boy. I had to pay for that. I wasn't a guy. I didn't start a lot of crap. A lot of fighting. But
wasn't
one
no
thing
punk.
about I wasn't gonna start no fight. But I'm gonna end one.
Yeah,
You're
no
not gonna. One thing I didn't deal with disrespect, man. I just played my game. That's it.
That's it.
But like I said, you have certain guys that you don't like. I don't care. And like I said, it ain't nothing they did. They just don't like. Like Chuck Person that played with Indiana. We fought all
The rifleman.
time. We fought all the time, even in preseason. I'm coming down the court in preseason. Wham! He hits me and knocked the wind out of me. I just start swinging. Hit him 2 or 3 times. Then somebody grabbed me by the neck, and they choking me, right? Just like what Draymond did with Gobert. Then his arm loosened up, and all you hear behind him, your boy Kev said, "Let him go, motherfucker, let him go." And he went limp, and I looked back, I was like, "Thank you, appreciate it, big fella."
So if you threw
T-Rex.
punches, if you threw punches back then, what was that? 500?
250,
Oh,
200.
Oh God.
That's it, man. Hey,
Bro, I got
and you,
fined
hey,
250
you got
to
thrown
$3
out.
million.
You might have got thrown out, but you might have got a technical foul. You get that second technical too. But
I got 25,000 for pushing somebody.
Man, you know what? The guys would laugh at that back then.
That's crazy.
Push.
Right.
Many times
Normal,
we got
right?
next time we got pushed and pushed up. Man,
Nothing.
man,
Not even a foul.
But you know, for us, it set the tone. And like, you know, the game, this is gonna be the game. Ain't gonna be no cakewalk.
Ain't no
you know?
I got fined $3 million and he ain't died.
You know?
He said he didn't even die. You stupid.
He ain't died.
I remember when you got fined at 3,000. We watched it.
$3 million.
So y'all had a total of about what?
Not close to 10 million.
10 million
I was
in
3.
fines.
Ron was 8 apiece. I mean, just me and him was 8. He got 5. I had 3.
Wow.
And all the other players ended up to be like
Yeah.
10 something.
You know, right now, you talk about fine. If you dunk on a guy and you look at him too
That's
hard,
teeth.
it's a fine.
That shit weird.
Ridiculous.
I'm
I
like,
need
come
mine
on,
back.
man.
Soft.
I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man.
I think I need to call the league and go back and watch this
You
film.
know what? Lonnie's got the good need to watch real street ball.
Yeah.
How them brothers play? Hey,
They wouldn't make it. A lot of them would
it
make it.
would,
Or hockey, you just go sit down for a minute. Go
I'm
calm
saying
down.
the league
and
is
then-
full of a whole bunch of light-skinned cats, and they all ain't like that. So you ain't finna get too much of that. So,
hey, let me tell you.
I don't know,
I'm
bro.
gonna tell you the
There's a lot
toughest
of
light
mixed
skin. I'm gonna
breeds.
tell you the toughest light skin
A
guy.
lot of
who
mixed
played
breeds
this
in the
game.
league right now.
The toughest light skin. You talk about light skin. The toughest light skin guy to play this game is Maurice Lucas, the enforcer.
Oh, he used to throw him.
What?
He used to
Hey,
throw him.
nobody messing with him.
That's
Yeah.
Nobody.
Who was the one he knocked someone out cold though?
Him and
Who was
Daryl
it?
Dawkins went toe to
Yes.
toe.
Yeah.
Him and, he didn't
Daryl
knock him
Dawkins
out.
When I was
Big
in
old dude,
college
bro.
back then, you're not supposed to do this, but Maurice Lucas and Pete Maravich used to train me in the summertime. And so when I came to the league, I got the toughest guy in the league. Then I got one of the most skilled guy that ever played this game working out with me. And Maurice Lucas, when he work out, if you ain't working hard with him, he get upset, man. He'll call you out, and you ain't gonna question him. You seen some of the fights he had.
Man. What was Pistol Pete like?
Pistol Pete was before his time.
He
And
was
one
a
of-
brother,
Can
too.
you compare him to anybody who's ever played the game?
I think he a mixture
Okay.
of some guys. You look at some of the stuff that Kyrie does. Pete Maravich was doing that way back then. And Pete Maravich was 6'5", 6'6", playing the point. He was tall. He was just a freak. And his court vision is unmatched, the stuff he could do with the ball. And so I learned a lot from them guys coming into the league because they helped prepare me for it. So, yeah.
Nah, he was showing Daryl Dawkins just now.
With
Trying to get his shit
Maurice?
out. Man, that
Yeah,
shit
hey,
look
man.
nasty.
We were
He
playing.
was big, but that
And
shit
tell you how
look
tough
nasty.
it is. We playing in Phoenix, and Doc Rivers and Cal Macy gets on that. Doc literally kicks Cal Macy right in his ass, and Maurice Lucas came up behind Doc and grabbed him by his head like this. And he said, "That's enough of that shit." And I looked at Tree all the damn around. I said, "Which one of y'all gonna help Doc?" I ain't saying nothing to this dude.
snap Doc
you
neck.
know, hey, nobody move. Nobody. He used to knock you on the floor, right? And he reached down to help you up. Now the fans think he's being a nice guy, and he said, "Get your ass up. It ain't time to lay down now. This is what you want. This is how it's gonna be all night long."
I love it.
It was just some animal. I mean,
were grown
Oak is the
men.
epitome
Yeah,
of
back
that.
then I said, you got to put the tool on the line.
They had Oak. They had Anthony Mason. They had another guy, Kim Bannister. Them guys were the three amigos, and
Bro,
they were.
back then you got to.
They don't realize the level of toughness that was in that area. Not only toughness, but skilled players who were tough.
Yeah.
You know,
And strong.
like Larry
We're
Smith.
talking about grown men,
Smith
real
played
grown
in
men,
Houston.
dog.
I mean, Mr. Mean, he got that name for a reason. Because
Mr.
he
Mean.
did not play. I made friends with some of the guys. Like a lot of guys, like Lonnie Shelton. You remember Lonnie Shelton?
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie Shelton got robbed out in front of the arena one game, right?
In Atlanta?
No, in Cleveland.
Okay.
He took the gun from the guy who robbed him, pistol whipped him, sat on him till the police came.
That's crazy as a motherfucker. That's
And he was like 260 playing the three. I'm like, man, this dude here, me and him would be
He should have been in
friends.
UFC.
Because again, he fought Buck Williams.
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
Buck was tough.
Hey, listen,
was that
Buck a big
truth.
dude. Him and Buck fought from one end of the court to the other end, to the tunnel, to the bus.
I'm saying, how many people you know
And
named
Buck had
Buck?
knots around that.
Each one of them, you know, they big old black dudes, big old strong. I'm talking about beard, big black beard.
Yeah, North Carolina kid.
Yeah, just look like a big old. I'm talking about, bruh. Everybody named Buck look like they can knock you out.
And
Tell me,
he could.
Yeah.
He could and would.
For real. Everybody named Buck just a problem.
See, you understand now why I didn't want to play power forward.
Yeah.
I'm not no 3. I'm a 3. I've been a 3 since I was a baby. I ain't trying to play no other position. I'm a 3. You know.
You had some bruises back then.
Some bruises,
Oak and all them.
So you win 5 dunk contests, 1, 2. The home cooking, you should have won 3. The home cooking in '88 for Chicago when Mike won his. What were those dunk contests?
You know what?
That's back when the stars, the best players.
Well, we wanted
were in
to know who the best was. I don't think guys want to know who the best is.
They scared to know.
We want to know
they scared to lose.
No, they're afraid to lose. They
what
think
it
it's
is.
going to, interfere with your legacy or whatever. The fact that they still talking about Jordan and Michael dunk contest 35 years later
Crazy.
tells you it's the greatest dunk contest, right?
Yep.
Because you had 2 great players going head up.
Mm-hmm.
And that one in Chicago was a great dunk contest. And it was funny because after he said, Nick, you know you won, I know you won. But you in Chicago, what can I say? I said, well, I tell you, Mike, give me the $25,000 that they gave you.
We'll call it even.
I ain't seen that money yet. But about 2 years ago, man, I went to greet him and his wife, and they were sitting at the table, and I went to say hello. He said, you know you won that dunk contest. I said, well, how you doing, Mike? You doing good? But the fact that, he's acknowledged that a few times, man, it's special. So for me, it isn't about who won a loss,
The competitive still.
because it speaks to your greatness, man. And we never talked about it. We never talked about who won or lost. It was kind of unspoken rule with us.
But you was doing dunk contest dunks in the games.
Well, both of us, none of us ever went, when we were going to dunk contest, never went to a gym doing some stuff. Practice. I never practiced those dunks. Not once. Some of the dunks I thought as the contest went on. Like the one I threw off the glass, one of them got.
And windmill.
I'd never done that one before. And I just knew, I said, with jumping ability, if you catch it right, and
dunk that, just dunk it hard.
Yeah, just dunk it hard as you can, And so I never worked on that stuff, and neither did he.
Yeah.
Neither did he, man.
I would love to see y'all have a one-on-one and talk about like Magic and Isaiah did. I'd love to see you and Mike because you might be the person who gave Mike the most work in his career.
Yeah, we went at it. We went at it. And the thing that we have so much respect for, and one thing he said.
That's what I love about it.
One thing he said, man, and I looked at it, I'm like, wow, and he actually believed that. He said, when I was going against Neek, he said, Neek was amazing. I just tried to be as amazing. Wow. And I said,
that's special.
Wow. That's pretty special what he just said,
Word.
Word. But it just showed me that how special our relationship was, as competitors.
But how special you were
as well.
He's always showed me respect.
Yeah,
and
he don't show no.
And the thing about him,
with him,
and he used to say, like, look, we play against Atlanta.
Excuse me.
We gonna make it tough on Nick. We gonna double and triple. I rarely ever saw one-on-one coverage, as a player. And so a lot of times they would send a guy at me as soon as I caught it.
On the catch.
They like
on the catch.
They're like, don't even give him a chance to go into that spin move or get to the middle.
Yeah.
But Chicago was the team that, I had great success with. And it probably because of Michael, Jordan, and Scotty. They brought out that level of toughness. Yeah.
If Adam Silver gave you the opportunity, said, Dominique, we need you to fix the dunk contest, what would you do?
I've been asked that question before. At first I said, why don't we throw more money at it?
I'll let you pick the contestants.
I said, but they make too much money. That ain't going to work.
That ain't
that ain't going to work. I said, if you can pick the contestants and sit down and say, hey, man, this would be great for the contest, great for the fans for that weekend. Would you be willing to get into it? I don't know a lot of guys who'd be willing to do it. So to answer your question, I really don't know.
Ain't no hope.
Because you got a G League guy and McClone has come and won it twice in a row.
Matt McClone?
And I have much respect for him. Tough little guy, man. And he puts on the show. And I told him, I said,
he works at this shit,
I said, yeah, he works. I said, you had to come with it to beat this kid. But on the other side, as a competitor that's in the NBA going to you should be a little embarrassed.
Right.
Because let me tell you, and it's just my mentality, ain't nobody coming up that's a guy that's not known, out of nowhere, not even the league gonna beat me. It ain't happening.
Nah, you're not, especially if I got them boyons.
No. I'm going upstairs to get it. And that's the funny thing. I'm talking about my son, my youngest son. 6'11", 17, and he does some things, man. I had to look at my brother like, holy shit. You see, I said, you see where he came from? I mean, he goes off the bounce, off of 1 foot, man. He goes above that square. And I saw it in state championship, man. He was catching stuff, man. It was so effortless. And my brother looked at me, he said, where did he get it from, Nick? Are you surprised? You know, he inherited that, you know. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know.
So is Gerald your brother or you guys cousins?
No, brothers.
Brothers.
Brother, yeah.
Younger brother.
Yeah. My younger brother, no, he's my second youngest brother. I got a younger brother named James, who was probably as good or better than Gerald.
And his
but
nephew.
he tore his knee up.
And his
then
nephew,
I got my nephew Damien.
Gerald's son runs OT.
Yeah, and his son
is live.
Oh,
he the truth. He might be the best one out of all y'all.
Who?
His G son.
Yeah. Oh, the young.
He the truth.
Guard. Oh,
he the truth.
So him
He
and
the
my
truth.
son, you know,
It's around the same age, right?
They both nice.
Well, my son is, I think, a year older than him, but yeah, he's special.
They both nice.
What was it
they
like
both nice.
getting the opportunity to play against your brother in the league, though? That's
You know what?
And 2 parts. And have you ever had a dunk contest?
Oh, my brother?
Yeah, because he could jump too.
Oh, he was in the dunk contest
I'm
against
saying,
me.
y'all ever had y'all own?
Oh, no. He knew who the king was.
Okay.
Yeah, know your place.
He knew
you know
who
what I
he
mean?
was.
You know
Know
the place.
your
Know the place. And then my son, my young son, he think he got me figured out.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, he talking me crazy.
Yeah.
So he gonna say to his coaches when he said, "You at 17, me at 17, Dad, who's better?" I said, man, hey, you're gonna make a lot of money, man. So if they believe that, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're a much better player than I ever was. I said, but don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
son. You know, I said, I don't really want to tell you the truth, but
But numbers up there.
I said, look, if you want to get to that level of professionalism,
Dominance.
work.
Yeah.
You got to work for it. And he said to me, he said, I'm gonna be better than you, Dad. And I said, I love that attitude, son. I love the fact that, you know, you're willing to work for it. He said, I know I got a lot of work to do. I said, look, if you is half as good, you're going to make more money than I ever dreamed. If you're half as good.
Yeah.
I said, so all you got to do is want it. Everything else comes easy.
Tough Eastern Conference when you were trying to navigate your way through. Career average is 25-7, but never got a chance to make the Eastern Finals. What was the best chance you feel like you guys had against Boston?
First of all, you got to beat Boston in their prime with their 5 Hall of Famers. You got to get Chicago in their prime with multiple Hall of Famers. You got Detroit in their prime with multiple. You got the Knicks. You got Milwaukee. You got Cleveland. Oh, these are good teams, great teams. So if you make it to the second round, you've had a hell of a season because the East was loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, people didn't even talk about that Cleveland Cavaliers team back then, how good they were. With Nance and Hot Rod and Harper and who was that, the guard?
Elo?
Mark Price.
Elo?
It was a good team, man. It was some great teams. And then you got that Indiana Pacer team. They were loaded.
Yeah.
You know. So it was hard to get out of the East, man. You know, been to the Eastern Conference, second round many times, but man, getting to the conference finals,
A war within
you had
itself.
to go, man, because you always bet on Boston to be there. And this even before Chicago had their run. And then you got New York, Indiana.
I forgot about New York.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, Philly too.
With Dr. J and Moses one. Man, the people don't understand that level of competition, man. You were lucky. You had to have some luck to get out of the second round.
Yeah.
Because all those teams has been there at one point in time. They've been there before. But it's hard for us to talk about it because people are, it wasn't that good. You have no idea.
What was your last year in the league? What year was your last year?
I stopped, I want to say 98, 99. Was my
So
last year.
you went head to head with Jordan for many years. You got to see at the end of your career, you got to see Kobe. Can you compare and contrast
I love
those two?
Kobe.
You love Kobe.
Kobe, old school throwback with a new school twist.
Yeah. That's exactly
You know,
what he was.
and I remember when he left, when he was leaving it, the last game in Atlanta, and I went in the locker room afterwards. I said, man, I love the way, you played the game. You never made excuses. You played hurt. Didn't make excuses, held people accountable. I said, you the last of our kind. When you leave, the last of our kind leaves with it. Damn. And he looked at me, he said, man, that's really really means a lot coming from you because a lot of the legendary guys have told me that. I said, it's true, man. That's just true.
He was a student of the game,
Yeah,
too.
and I said, man, you played no matter what. I mean, you played really on a bad Achilles, which nobody's going to do that. Kobe, I mean, if you talk about comparisons, he the closest to me as a Michael-like player. Ever. And I don't think you'll find too many people that would disagree.
Right, especially us.
And they played the same position. You know. You played against Kobe.
MJ,
I seen the skirmishes they went.
MJ 2.0.
Right,
He was MJ 2.0.
Yeah.
So you had an injury in '92 that was ending a lot of careers.
Yeah.
You battled back through an Achilles, and the next year you averaged 30 points a game. What was that rehab
It was
like?
unheard of back then.
Still unheard of now.
Because
What do you mean? That shit is
That
still
back then,
unheard of.
you know what?
Currently.
I was such a competitor, man. I wasn't going to let an obstacle like that stop me. Because I tell people all the time, obstacles are not meant to stop you. It's meant to make you sit back, you find a way to get over it around it. And I said, I'm going to work. So I worked twice a day, every day for 9 months. And I did water therapy, everything you can name. And I remember coming back, I was in training camp. And I hit the ground really hard. And I grabbed my Achilles, right? But I didn't have no pain.
Nothing was wrong. You're just scared.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going all out. If it pops, it's going to pop on my terms. I'm going all out. And I remember the first game of the season playing against New York, and I scored 30. And I said, motherfuckers, I'm back. I'm back.
feeling.
And I said, this is how it's going to be all year long. And you're right, I averaged 30 points a game that year. Then they made the trade after that. That was about money. That wasn't about my ability. But that's another thing.
I know what it feels like to win a chip overseas. I'm actually Don Pablo in Dominican Republic right now. Might have a couple kids. Hi, y'all. I'll meet y'all one day.
Stupid, man.
But how does it feel winning a championship overseas?
Oh, man, winning that championship in Greece, man, Greek fans are the most fanatical fans in the world. Oh, they're nuts, man. When we played the European Championship, we was in Paris, being in my home. And the Greek fans took over Paris. And the police said, as long as they don't tear up anything, just leave them alone. It was the most unreal thing I've ever experienced. When I get back to the airport in Athens, there's 250,000 people at the airport.
Damn.
And we had to go in buses, police force, and full riot gear. I was scared to death, man.
Already who you are in the NBA, and then you come out in with a
to this
championship.
day, they treat me like I'm one of their own. To this day, I was just over there this summer, and I can't tell you the respect that I got there when I went there. I mean, I didn't want for nothing, didn't pay for nothing to this day, man, because we won the first championship they ever won. They've won 7 since then.
I'm trying to take Matt to DR before he have his baby, so.
Panathinaikos, yeah.
Trying to take Matt to DR before he's be another.
You been to DR?
I already got motherfucking about to have 7 kids. I don't need any more.
No, we're not gonna go down there for more kids. We're just gonna go down there so you can.
That's the only reason why I go.
Yeah, right.
The food and the people are awesome.
Yeah, right. They might arrest you for back pay child support.
I definitely owe some child support there. I just don't know how much.
Well, Nick, this has been
That's
amazing.
one conversation I'm staying out of.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about on the way. He's like, I'm done. He said, you got 8, right?
I got 7.
7?
Okay, I got 5 girls and 2 sons. And I got
I'm with
9
you.
grandkids.
5 girls, 2 boys.
Yeah, man.
I'm with you.
I had a girl early paying me back for my earlier life.
But just like Oscar Robertson's daughter just said, you're gonna be good at your older age because you got daughters. They're gonna take care.
They're gonna take care. Hey, they do. They do.
And I'm
They
good.
do.
I got 5 and plus one.
I got
My
all
oldest
boys.
is 40 and my youngest is 16.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, man.
You still look good though.
Still
doing
look
your
good.
thing. Doing your thing. OG.
Hey, movement is life.
Yeah.
Got to keep moving.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
My guy. That's my
All right,
dog.
quick hitters. First thing to come to mind. Let us know.
Dream dunk contest, including yourself, all time.
You and 3 more guys.
Well, of course, you got to have Mike and Dr. J.
Of course.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Got to have them in there.
The diggy doctor.
Vince Carter.
Yes.
That's class. That's right there.
Carter.
Nobody else deserves to be in there.
One more.
Who else deserves to be in there?
That's us 5.
Maybe he has someone that's 4.
I got an honorable mention. David Thompson.
Ooh, David.
Okay, I thought he was gonna say Sean Kemp.
Hey, he can score the ball too.
Sean Kemp.
Well, Sean Kemp definitely. I mean,
He's 6'10",
because he's
6'11",
he's a different type of
Yeah,
dunk.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
big, powerful.
You got to put him with
So
Swift.
you're right. I mean,
Yeah, he's highly influenced by
but you know what? And sometimes we forget about Sean, and so I'm putting him in that top 6.
A lot of game.
Yeah.
All y'all was special.
One thing you wish you were better at.
most people say 3-point shooting, but I could shoot the three. I never had a problem with 3-point shooting. I think for me, the thing you can always get better at as a player is the fundamentals of the game. Different fundamentals, the little things, even having to handle the ball more, be more efficient passing, stuff like that. So I think the total fundamentals of the game, you could always be better. But, back when we were playing, we concentrate on all that stuff. We were just kind of trying to win, however that looked and however we got there, we was going to do this.
I got a question. Do you guys, because I know training is so heavy in the game, in your guys' offseason, did you guys train hard or just play a lot of basketball?
You know what? I never stopped playing for one.
So you just played.
But I never stopped training either. I was always on the track. I was always, I didn't lift a lot because my game was about endurance and speed. So I didn't do a lot. I didn't have to because, you get stronger just by bumping guys.
During the season, yeah.
So I mean, I didn't mean like training like running or lifting. I mean like skill work. Did you guys do that?
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of skill work.
Okay.
We did a lot of skill. Because, the thing is, I don't understand. Like guys go in the gym and you can work out. But how do you perfect your game from a skill level? You got to play against guys to kind of illustrate those skills that you've been working on.
Put them to work.
Playing is the best way.
Yeah, you got to play the game. But I always worked on. If I'm weak at my left, I worked on my left. If I needed to add another move, because every year, my first 5 years, I put two new things in my game. So one guy wasn't going to be able to guard me because I was going to have a counter to his counter like my high school coach always taught me. One guy had no shot by himself. I don't give a damn who he was. You're going to need help.
That's kind of what Kobe said. Kobe said, I'm not even worrying about the person.
No, I'm worried about the person who was double teamed.
That's going to help him. Yeah, that's going to help him.
That's the thing he learned from us, because I know I can beat him. That guy there, I want to see where he's coming from. Because if I can get there, I know he's coming, but how you beat the double team? Go before it gets there. A lot of guys, you wait. I ain't not waiting on you. I'm gone.
Come
and then we decide that at the rim, what you gonna do?
Come get me at the rim. Is there any? But this is not on the list. But I wanted to ask: have you seen anyone since you're done playing that reminds you of yourself at all?
I think it's a mixture of guys. I don't think it's one, but Jaylen Brown, for example. A lot of things he do reminds me of some of the things I did. But you look how a guy like LeBron gets in the open floor. You ain't stopping.
Downhill.
And that's how that was my thing. If I get an open floor, it was over. And so I think it's a mixture of guys.
Guys.
Yeah.
Dope.
This one guy, that's a hard one.
Childhood crush.
My high school girl that I never got.
Never got her.
I never got her. Oh man, I tried, but yeah.
You remember her name?
Huh?
Remember her name?
I remember her name. She was country. She was country. Her name was Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina.
Country girl. But
that name, I know that name though.
Right though.
Curved up.
Yeah.
Them Willie Mays and them Willie Minas.
Yeah,
I know about them back in the hood. Yeah. Always one of them.
She got married and started raising chickens.
Yeah, that's Wilhelmina. That's her.
I'm like, you can have the chickens, baby.
Willie May.
One album you could play with no skips.
Stevie Wonder. Ooh. You pick the album. Anyone. Him. Go Frankie Beverly Mays, Gap Band.
Gap Band.
Same thing Oscar said.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Real music.
Same thing Oscar said.
My relative sang one of the leads for Earth, Wind. It was Philip Bailey.
Tim Hardaway said that too.
Yeah, he was special.
What's your guilty pleasure? Cigars.
That's probably my guiltiest pleasure. I have at least one a day.
Yeah.
I have my cigars. I have my own brand coming out too.
Really? Want to shout it out?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll
wait till it's dry. Okay.
We're trying to finalize the thing right now. Got to get the money first.
Coming soon.
You got to make sure that
Are you in Atlanta?
Right.
Are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. We got some. We're gonna go do an event out there. We're gonna have you out to it.
Yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. You got my information now. Just let me know.
Yes.
If you could see one guest on All the Smoke,
but
see you rusty, dog. You rusty as hell, dog. And it's embarrassing. Okay, get your shit together. Come on, man. Get back in the gym. He been in the gym lifting weights and trying to get sexy.
I know he seemed like he ready.
He been forgetting our lingo.
It look like he can still play though.
He can. Real. He still get cooked by his sons recently. if you could see one person on All the Smoke, who would it be?
But
you have to help us get your answer on the show.
Karl Malone.
Oh.
The mailman.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah,
I said some things.
that's why I said.
I said some things.
Carl might
I
smack
mean,
the shit out of
if he
Jack.
come up here and own up to him, we cool. Because I ain't saying nothing that ain't true. And I definitely say it to him.
Well, Dominique, man, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all
That's
you
my
gave.
guy. He know me better. He know me, y'all. I'm telling y'all, he know
All
me.
you gave to the game,
Thanks,
man. And again, we brought it up throughout the interview. I mean, you don't get the flower and the recognition you deserve, but the real basketball heads appreciate
my thing is okay. The
real ones.
We
know.
love you. We
The real ones know,
know.
man. So
Yeah.
we
And I
appreciate
appreciate
you.
it too, brother.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
Always
that.
good
good
to
to
see
catch
you.
up, man.
My
Jacksonville,
guy.
make
That's
sure
my
you
guy.
call me when you
Yes.
come down.
Yes, sir.
man.
That's my
That's
guy.
a wrap.
man.
Dominique
That's my
Wilkins.
guy.
You can catch this on, where are we at now?
Everywhere.
DraftKings Network and All the Smoke Productions YouTube, man. We'll see y'all next week.